Hey everybody, it's Dr. Bill Generu, and I want to welcome you to the online version of CMST 250, the hardware and networking course. So it's really cold today, and but that's one of the nice things about teaching online is I get to work from home and interact with you all. So I'm getting ready to go take my dog Daisy for a walk out here in this frigid day. Um, but I wanted to say hello and give you a glimpse of where I'm working from today. So this is kind of my setup for walking the dog. Here's my dog Daisy, and so she's a Australian cattle dog, which means she likes to run a lot, and it doesn't matter what the weather is. It's in the teens today. It's been cold all day. This is the second walk that we've gone on. Um, but I tired of the bicycle because I can't walk her fast enough. We have to go for a run, and so that's what we're going to go do right now. But I'll check back in with you after we go on our walk. So just a little introduction, a little about myself. I've been working in computers and technology for over 3 decades. Um, I joined the service right out of high school and went right into advanced electronics training. And there I learned about basic electricity and computer systems, working on Navy weapon systems. I specialize mostly in the gun fire control systems. But the basic training, we learned about radars and other sensor equipment, synchro servo systems. A lot of the training that I went through would be useful today in automation and robotics, but that's not really the direction that my career took me. I got more into the IT field and did computer networks and support. But I got my start in the Navy. I actually was involved in installing one of the first local area networks aboard ship in the late 1980s on the battleship Missouri. I was involved in a team that we pulled network Cat5 cable around the ship and installed network cards into computers that weren't network capable. So kind of from the ground up, we built a network aboard ship. Now that's a standard thing. There's a whole job rating for that type of work, but they just pulled from anyone who was interested in learning and doing that stuff. So, but my start was working on computer systems for weapons, and ultimately I circled back to that as well. In Desert Storm, I was back in the plotting room, aiming the big guns, and but that's where I got my start with working with technology and computers, and I've kind of stayed in that field ever since. As far as this class goes, this is one of my favorites. Been doing this a long time, multiple versions, had a lot of chance to review and refine it, and here I find myself this semester trying something new again. This is the first time that I've tried to offer this class online. It's been a number of years I've been thinking about how can I take this very hands-on experiential class and bring it to an online audience. And I've come up with a few things, and I hope it works for you. Anyone who happens to be watching this that's not enrolled in the class, because I am going to share these videos online. But yeah, if you just happen to be tuning in because you stumbled upon our class, you're welcome to join us. I will share resources with you. I will tell you where we bought the equipment from that we're using to the best of my ability, and hopefully you can work along with us on some of this stuff. So normally we teach this class in a 16-week format. We start in January, we finish it up in May, and I'll be doing that class again this spring. But for our online students, especially for the benefit of those who are serving on active duty, we've compressed and condensed the format to an 8-week format so they can get through the class more quickly. That being said, there's twice as much to do every week, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to be very busy over the next 8 weeks, But I hope you'll stick with it. I think you'll learn a lot, and we'll accomplish a lot in those 8 weeks. So this is the very first day of the first week of our 8-week class in networking, and we have a lot to accomplish this week. I've written an email to students, but I just kind of want to reiterate in video format of what we're looking to try to get done this week. So one of the first things that I want you to do, obviously, is to check out the course syllabus and read through that, see what the course is about. There's some other information on Canvas, preliminary information that you can read through as well. I suggest you take a look at all of that. And I'll probably make a separate video to quickly go over the syllabus and the highlights on that. But I just wanted to kind of go over a to-do list with you right now for what we're going to do this week. So look at the syllabus. The first lab that I'm going to have you do is basically set up a WordPress site. I want everyone to communicate online. This class is about network technologies, and we are using the internet to do this class, and I also want you to be fluent communicators online as well. So we're going to do a number of communication techniques, and the first one is make a simple website, and we'll be doing our lab reports in that format throughout the course. So we need to get WordPress set up. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's fairly straightforward, but it does take a little bit of time to get that done. So that'll be the first lab. I also I have some equipment that I want to send out to those that are formally enrolled in the class. If you happen to be a student in Salina, it might just be easier to stop by and pick this equipment up from me, and we can make arrangements to do that. But if you're a true distance student somewhere other than Salina, Kansas, then I'll have to mail the equipment to you. And so if everyone would just send me an email, please, to let me know how you want to get the lab equipment that I have for you, whether I need to mail it to you and what your mailing address is, or if you'd like to come by and pick it up. So that's another thing that needs done this week. Also, I want you to introduce yourself to the other classmates, and we'll just do that on the Canvas discussion board. Tell us a little about yourself, where you're from, what you're studying, what your current situation is. Are you working full-time, or are you a full-time student? Those kinds of things. What are your major? What's your educational goals, your career goals? Just let us know who you are and where you're coming from, and so we can know who we're working with. So also, there's going to be a couple of videos to watch apart from this introductory video. So there's 2 video lectures that I'm working on putting together for you. The first one is called Why Computers and Networks. Why are we doing this course? So that's interesting. Just hopefully thought-provoking about what impact have computer networks and technologies had on us, and why it's important to study how this stuff works. It's part of our everyday life. So there's that video, and then there's another video on basic computer architecture, or just computer basics, in case you've never really taken the cover off of a computer and looked inside. That's what the second lab is also about, is looking inside a computer. Ideally, if you can get your hands on even just a very old PC that you can take the cover off and look inside. Otherwise, we'll have a short video of opening up a computer and looking inside as well, and you can use that for your lab. But there's a short lecture that'll go with that as well. Just what are the basic parts and components of a computer. So there'll be 2 lectures, and then another discussion after the lectures. I want you to go in the discussion board and talk about world-changing technologies. How have we been affected by the technology that we adopted? How has it improved our lives? What things have we given up by adopting technology? So that's the second discussion board activity for the class this week. And that's all on Canvas. Also, I would like you to make contact with one or two others that are in the class. We call that a study buddy. I want you to exchange actual contact information. Email's not the preferred method, just because I understand not everyone is constantly on email and constantly checking that. The ideal thing would be to exchange phone numbers, but if you have an app or something that everyone uses, and just a sure way of contacting another person in the class. So if someone falls behind or we haven't heard from them for a while, we know how to get a hold of one another. So that's the study buddy assignment, and so that's on Canvas as well. That you'll need to fill that out. Who's your study buddy? How are you going to get a hold of them? And then finally, I want you to think about the research assignment. Okay, so that's due in a couple of weeks. I want you to select a research topic that pertains to computers, networks, internet technology, something that you'd really like to dig into a little bit. We're going to make a term paper, but it's not a traditional written term paper like you might do in most academic settings. We're going to use, again, more internet technologies, and we're going to create a video using many of the same techniques that you would use for a regular written term paper, but we're going to make a very short video and post it online, and it'll be well researched and well edited. I'm going to teach you how to make that as well. Plus, we'll have some outside resources brought in for that as well. But for now, I just want you to be thinking about what would I like to spend a fair amount of time researching and spending time sharing the knowledge that I gained on some topic that's interesting or exciting to you related to computers and computer networks. So that's kind of the week in a nutshell. That's what's coming up. I'm very much looking forward to working with you all, meeting you all online, and I hope you have a great week. If you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to get a hold of me. My contact information's in the syllabus. And like I said, looking forward to seeing you all soon.